But today was bad. Light work, people. Light work. It seems we're soft all over the pitch.
Hello, folks. How are we doing? It's the Liverpool, actually Arsenal-Liverpool match reaction show today. I think we're all buzzing. I think I've taken a wee shot to be a host for this one. I'm far too excited to chronologically explain right now. So we're going to just take it easy this way and see how we get on. But yeah, guys, what a result. Unbelievable. And I'm going to go to the main man himself, because it is his show, it is his channel. Grizz, what's your thoughts straight away? What's your feelings towards the result?
Yeah, look, first I want to thank you, man. I wasn't sure I'm going to make it in time, but that's why I gave the responsibility for you two young men to handle the business afterwards while I was away. But I had to make it. I mean, I had to come home and talk to you lot. Honestly, the first thing, as soon as Jota delicately clips that over Pussy-O's face, what's his name? The one who fucking laughs for no reason, the mad fucker. Ramsdale.
Ramsdale, yeah.
When he rammed that goal in his face, right? My attention turned to, I need to talk to the red fellas, man. We need to dissect this shit. Like, man, what did we do out there today? And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Conroy. As we spoke yesterday, I wasn't 100% confident. I thought it's gonna be a real tight affair. But yeah, man, the atmosphere. I was literally telling you guys before, like when we got to the game, I got there fairly early. I got there about 5:45. I always do that, like to see a few friends, because I've got loads of Arsenal friends. Well, they were friends. I don't know.
You're the only Arsenal fan. There's a comment. There's a comment on this video right now. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a comment on this video who said, on your tweet earlier for the show, who said, an Arsenal fan said, "Congrats, good luck in the final," from an Arsenal fan. You have got a special connection with Arsenal fans, Chris. I thought
I did, but I think tonight may have tilted.
Pushed it too far.
Yeah, exactly. I think I may have gone too far. But look, I got there nice and early. Spoke to so many Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans as well. And you know what? I was literally telling you guys off air that the atmosphere around the stadium was really positive. I could sense like we were really up for it, even as a fan base, even as the away fans were rolling in off the station. You could only hear our songs. You could only hear our passion. And it was a bit subdued from them. And I know we're going to get into it because they did start off well. And I thought, whoa, this could be tricky tonight. But I'm calm now. I'm absolutely calm. Yeah, I'm calm now.
Just Evan, from our perspective, watching obviously on the television, what was your thinking towards the match coming up, and also we'll maybe get into the lineups when they got announced after Grizz tweeted it again. So there you go. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, with the lineups, obviously I think Cade Gordon might have been the big surprise for most people, but I love it because Klopp clearly seems to think he's the guy. I mean, Minamino is there. He's fit. He's ready. He's played a lot. He's arguably the reason we've made it this far. Definitely the reason we've made it this far. And yet it's Cade Gordon who gets the start. That was a huge surprise for me. But in terms of the team, I like what I saw. I like Curtis Jones in the left side of central midfield. I like the idea that our back four can be full strength and, just contribute in that way. So I felt pretty confident going into the game. I'm not going to lie. I know people say this and that about us at the Emirates, but I don't really care because on any given day, anything can happen.
He's basically watched our show last night, Evan. He's saying, I know people say about our record, because that's what we were discussing. Our record. And the Emirates was a bit, but
it's easy to say that now, Evan. But if we'd lost in penalties,
hindsight 2020. You know what I mean? But yeah.
But on that, Grizz, I know you obviously released your prediction, which came out. The team came out correctly. What I was going to say, what was your thoughts on the lineup as well? Because we mentioned last night we would be quite up for Cade Gordon. Errol, who was on the show last night, and Dan, who were brilliant. He also mentioned that he would love to see Cade Gordon in the starting lineup. So what was your thoughts on that?
Well, first and foremost, even though I told you, confirmed that Gordon is starting today, it was your shout. You get the flowers this week. I was shocked when you said I'd go with Cade Gordon, and the main man, Jurgen Klopp, agreed with you. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's because I phoned them. No, I'm joking. I don't do that shit.
Exactly. It was exactly spot on.
Apart from Kelleher, Grizz, we would have got it spot on if he started
Yeah,
Kelleher.
I mean,
He
look,
always does that. He finds some way.
Yeah, I was slightly surprised with the
was
Cade
I.
Gordon selection. I'm not going to lie and say, no, that was, I would have done the same. But it made sense from a balance point of view.
Yeah.
So the one thing that we noticed, we all spoke about, the one thing that we noticed in the first game was our lack of balance in attack. And therefore, chance creation was minimal. Therefore, control was minimal. It was totally opposite today. Like everything was balanced. Cade Gordon was like a mini Mo Salah when he was at Chelsea, just fledgling into this, going to be a supreme player. And at Basel maybe. Sorry, not even Chelsea, but at
Basel. That's a good one.
Salah at Basel. You could see it. He's got the same. I've said this before about Cade Gordon, guys. He's got this instinct where he wants to score goals, even though he's a wide forward. And you have to have that killer instinct. And I see it in him even at the age of 17.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know we're probably going to come on to the chance and everything.
But that run for that, exactly, guys, spot on.
Yeah, and he's got that, even though he was asked to stay wide, and help with Trent, while Henderson pressed the shit out of Odegaard and Lokonga whenever they got the ball. I thought he was always looking to come in behind to get into goal scoring positions. So I thought it was a brave selection from Jurgen Klopp, which we have slightly criticized him for not being brave in his selection. And I thought Curtis Jones, we discussed that he made himself undroppable after his last performance. So yeah, when I saw the team, I did think, yeah, we should control the game better. But I also did think they will have far more attacking situations than they did actually.
Grizz, I think you're spot on real quick about the instinct that Cade Gordon has as a wide forward. And I think that makes him more so a product of this new school, the new generation, because there was a time not so long ago when I first started watching the game where you didn't necessarily associate goals with wide midfielders and wide forwards the way you do now. Nowadays, how many elite wide players are there that don't have some sort of poignant like end product to their game? Whereas before, again, not to pick on, but you had players like Giggs, you know what I mean, like more traditional out and out wingers. I think the inverted winger, the inside forward, this is the modern day wide player. And Cade Gordon for me is just so much. He's born and bred in that era, so it only makes sense that he has that instinct, like you talked about.
Yeah, great point, Evan. I would just add to that as well. I feel like tactically as well, we try to get inside forwards more in the box, because if you get in the box, you've got more chance of scoring. It's the kind of logic behind that. We're not going to get into that today, but I think both of you guys, that's an outstanding point. Just on the lineup.
Very quickly, Keith, we didn't get a chance to meet, but big up Keith, of course. He was in the ground with me as well, but we didn't get a chance to meet up. He was with his friends. He pretends he doesn't know me in real life, so he was with his friends. But it is what it is.
If we might not see Keith on the show again now, but you know what, it was. I'm only joking. I saw Keith's Twitter. If he's not anyone in the chat, go and check out his Twitter videos. It showed the atmosphere and the Liverpool fans looked amazing. But just on that, Grizz, as well. So the game kicks off. I've just spoke to you. I'll go to you, Evan. What was your thoughts? Maybe the first 10-15 minutes of the game. First 10 minutes. What was your first feeling towards the game?
Arsenal are really good at pressing now. Arsenal are a much improved team, and I'd say I'm being 100% serious now. Obviously, we'll throw some tomatoes at Arsenal later on in the stream, but in all seriousness, even though they haven't really laid a finger on us this season, that's now 2 clean sheet victories and a bit of a non-contest draw. Arsenal, I think, are largely improved from when Mikel Arteta first joined. They seem more confident. They seem more organized. I thought they always carried a threat. I shuddered in fear every time Martinelli got isolated with someone out on the left wing. God, he was just absolutely destroying us in that first 15 minutes. I thought a Martinelli goal before halftime felt inevitable. And he's a scary player, phenomenal player. So yeah, I thought that Arsenal, if they had gotten that goal, If Lacazette had put that free kick in, or Martinelli had, opened a shot for himself and scored, I wouldn't have been sitting here thinking that they don't deserve it, because they absolutely owned the first 15 minutes of the game. But the next 75 were obviously a completely different story.
Guys, very quickly, can I ask something? Did he save that? Because
yeah, he did. It's a save.
Because we can't tell. We just see it.
Well, it doesn't have to be Hollywood. We're not all Aaron Ramsdale. We can actually just save it normally.
Yeah, sometimes you can save it and no one knows that you saved it, but you knowing that you saved it is good enough for you. But not for some keepers.
Dive everywhere, because technically that's the same type of free kick, and he basically, Grizz, he stands up, and I think because of that he manages to get a touch and it hits the bar. It's a brilliant save. The positioning, ironically, we credit Alisson with his feet positioning.
So he
that's
actually
what makes it
saved
so
that.
good.
Yeah,
he's gambled, Evan, hasn't he? He's kind of thought he's definitely going for this corner.
You always have to gamble, and then in like the last 10 years, you've started to see players like shooting towards the keper's side, knowing that there's a 95% chance.
On them,
yeah, first time I ever saw someone do that was Fowler to Schmeichel way back in the day. But I think I like that technique from Lacazette though. Like, he's so close. He really can't. It's a one-step shot, like a one-step run-up. He's so close. He has to get so little and yet so much on it. And I would like to see Trent try something like that, because I feel like the way Trent takes free kicks, his technique, I feel like it benefits being further back, if that makes sense, like 20, 25 yards.
To get it up and down.
To get the up and down speed. But if Trent can add that string to his bow, and that is how you say it. We determined this last time.
We got that
string,
right.
String to your bow. If Trent could add that, then he'll become a better free kick taker overnight.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as I say, just on that, then we'll say the first real chance of the game was that free kick. What was that like in the stadium, Grizz? Did you think it was in when he hit it?
The crowd was pumped. All I can say, the crowd was, and we knew the crowd's going to be up for it. This was their final, basically. They thought they've done the hard job at Anfield. They thought we've done the hard bit. Sorry, we survived 10 men. They're going to bring us back. We're going to take us back to their place and really shaft us. The first 10 minutes, it looked like there was one team that's had a whole week off to recuperate, put their feet up, and make sure they're ready to press the life out of us. And we look like we've had a low-key standard win at home, 3-0. So they pressed us in that first. There was like I was quite high up, so you could see trying to cover every passing lane, not letting us breathe.
Intellectual pressing.
I don't think, 100%. It's not on our level of intellectual pressing that we took over.
No, of course.
So we're going to come on to that, how we we literally turned it into intellectual pressing. Their one was I thought it was just energetic pressing. The way it looked. I don't know, you guys saw different
No, they
angles?
definitely gambled, and gamble's the wrong word, but it was similar to the Man City game, I thought, the first 15 minutes, against Man City at the Emirates.
Yeah.
They really went for it, pressed high. They definitely went for the same thing. But like I said last night, Grizz, you've always got a chance of playing through them if you get it right. And I think, to be fair, the actual free kick they get comes from, I think, a Matip loose ball. There's a few our passes weren't great in the first 15 minutes, but I think it was a very similar tactic Arsenal employed. But we're able to get through that, and then we moved on to, if anything in between, guys, I think the next real event, because I took a note of it during the game, would be the opening goal, where Diogo Jota is basically, I think Tommy Asu is going to have nightmares of tonight's game.
So wait, hold on. Was Matip definitely offside? Because we can't tell.
Definitely.
Sorry, guys, I noted that,
Clearly.
but it was quite
Clear.
clear. So we could talk about that, but really it was a clear offside. He was onside, but as the
We
ball
went mad because we've been waiting. Matip, we've been waiting. For
it was frustrating, Grizz, because from our angle, obviously we got all the replays and the VAR angle and stuff. Matip easily could have held his run and still gotten on the end of it.
It was onside, and Arsenal pushed out, and he left that his left leg, I think, hanging.
It wasn't one of those things where Matip was lingering behind the line. He got himself onside, and then he was offside. So it was a bit frustrating. But you could sort of see with like the Liverpool players' reaction, no one seemed to think that he was onside, including himself. So
and the ground you thought scored.
Oh yeah, we went mad and wild because it was Matip, and we were waiting for him to score any week. Like literally, it's going to be any week. He says, "Evening, gentlemen. Liverpool scored, then controlled the game." I think that's what he was about to come to anyway, Conroy. Mo Salah, Sadio, Thiago back for the final, trying to get tickets, 20 minutes walk from home. Good luck with that, my friend. Good luck with that. Usman says, thank you for the super chat. He says, mad thing is it was the players I rate highly who performed the worst. Gabriel, Tierney, Tomiyasu. If AFC don't bring in the number 9 and midfielder, they're thrown away. They're thrown away, top four away. And just last one before we move on. Bassett says, last week we were done. This week, Mo and Sadio, who?
That's the game, man. The game's the game. That's how it works. Yeah.
But no, fair enough. I do love that confidence, especially after. Do you know what? It's just so great. We're going to get into it, but actually just get into a final at Wembley. Wow.
It's been so long, Conroy. Like, it feels like domestic. Well, it has 2016, right, boys?
Yeah, the last semi-final was against Southampton, and we lost. And Van Dijk was playing for Southampton. I remember that. But yeah, I think it was Man City. Is that the last time, or am I forgetting?
Man City in his first season. Yep.
First season. Yep.
Coutinho scores in the final. It goes to penalties, doesn't it? It goes to penalties. Yeah, but on that then, guys, really after the matchup, I think the first real incident following that is Jota's goal. And I maybe want to touch on, Ev, I want to ask you here, Trent Alexander-Arnold's position for this goal, he's equivalently playing, it's like a right winger, or probably a right forward, the actual position he's in. What was your thoughts on that goal? And then I know we'll talk about Diogo Jota's run, but just in general, when you first saw that, did you see that attack opening up the way it did?
And you're talking about the second goal, correct?
No, the first goal.
First goal. So what I do pride Jota on is, some people say, he's not the techiest player, outside of the box, but he seems to wriggle and fit through very small spaces, and I think he knows that.
He is clever, I think.
He sort of carves through defenders the way Suarez used to, sort of through like a combination of like skill and sheer force of will. He just finds very small corridors to fit through, and in the opening 15 minutes, like I said, I thought Martinelli was giving Trent so many problems, but there was only one right back on the pitch today that got fully exposed, and it was Tomiyasu. And it's a bit cruel because I think defensively he's been really solid for them, probably just what they needed. But Jota was just too much. He's too sharp, and we cannot talk about that first goal without talking about Roberto Firmino, because
I saw your tweet.
This goal is all him. This is all him.
Take it away, mate.
I mean, this is vintage Firmino. This is what I'll tell my grandkids about what was Bobby Firmino like, and I'll tell them this is what Bobby Firmino was like. He drops into space, takes players with him, has eyes in the back of the head, flicks it onto the forward, gives it to Jota. So the goal is all him. Jota, of course, the great skill and the great instinct to cut inside, and like an inside forward would from the left wing. And it's one of those things where the miss hit seems to fool everybody. It's not necessarily an error from Ramsdale, because sometimes players just like miss hit the ball and it fools everybody. But yeah, the goal is 100% Firmino. It's that sharpness and that instinct that he was maybe missing during large parts of last season. And let's be honest, everybody was missing a bit of sharpness and instinct last season. Yeah. But this is exactly what I see when I close my eyes and think of Roberto Firmino. It's the quintessential move from him, and it's that's 90% his goal, in my opinion.
I love that, because everyone's talking about Trent, the final pass, he gets another assist, Jota nutmegging Tomiyasu, and basically even Jones, his run, which takes Ben White. I love how you've seen it that way and tweeted that. I didn't even think about that when I was watching it. It's a great point, Evan.
But I want to take it back even to the first initial, pretty much one of the few things Matip got right. Like, Matip's always looking for that pass, but I thought he was sloppy at times. I don't know if he's carrying an injury. Was that said? And was anything said?
I think it seemed to be that way. He wasn't moving very well in the first half from what I saw.
Yeah, exactly. Because it looked like the Matip that was playing against Spurs. Like, literally, he was struggling.
It looks like he had a knock, Grizz, because it looked like he was struggling at certain times in the game. I don't know if that'll be confirmed.
But when he gets that pass into midfield right, there's very few centre backs that can do that pass as well. Like, he literally plays it into Bobby Firmino, and that's where Bobby Firmino brings that X factor, and the move starts, and then you can see the runs from Curtis Jones. Then you can see Diego Jota's eyes light up, one-on-one against Tomiyasu. And it looked like the most. We thought it took a deflection. Like from where we were sitting, it was like a deflection. And so it's wrong-footed the keeper. So I don't know. Obviously, it didn't, right? So the way you guys have described it.
Yeah, no, basically what he done is, it's ironic because it's very similar to, the Firmino goal against Arsenal. When he hits it, there's 3 defenders lying on the floor. It's kind of like that. But basically, I'll be honest, like Ramsdale gambles, he's going to whip it, and then he catches it a little bit earlier, and it's just like a straight ball, but then Ramsdale's wrong-footed, Grizz, and he can't get there. Mm-hmm. It's actually, I said to Evan before we came on, you remember the Brighton goal he scored last season?
Yep, very similar.
Jota scored against Brighton, very similar to that, when he hits it early in the corner. And it was, it was a outstanding goal. But Grizz, I want to get your thoughts, because obviously you were at the stadium. What was your emotions when it went in? Were you?
It was early in the game, but I kind of sensed already at that point, and I don't normally. I kind of sensed at that point they're not coming back. Wow. And the fact and the reason for that was because of that 10-minute spell, 15-minute spell where they gave it their best shot. When 2 boxers come out and one knows that I'm going to go for an early knockout, because the longer the game goes, they're the more experienced, they're the more been here before, they're the most fitter team. So I got to knock him out straight away. So they came blowing, like swinging. Once we ducked and dived and got out of that, then it was like, I felt like as soon as we get that first goal, I knew. I'm always confident when the spine plays well, Conrad. I've always said this before. And when Virgil, Fabinho, Henderson, and then we got Bobby as well, when they're all on it and focused, we're still a fucking hard team to beat. You might scrape a draw, and if you're lucky, if a few things go away, your way in terms of a penalty decision or a rough decision or a stunning goal from your team, you might beat us. But at best, you draw with us. At best, because we're still fucking hard to beat. And as soon as that goal went in, obviously it was joyous scenes everywhere. But internally, I felt pretty confident, Conway. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Grizz, because to me it felt like once we scored, obviously our defence is confident, guys, but I felt like it was like it sharpened them up defence. Do you know what I mean? I felt like they felt like, no, we've got this now. We can see it out now, which has not happened in every game this season, to be honest, Grizz. So I think that's a really good sign for us going forward. But on from that, I think if from my notes, guys, there's nothing happens before halftime as far as I'm aware. Anything you want to mention before we get into the halftime? I think we just see it out, and I don't think there's any additional chances before that. I think we just kind of controlled the game, as the comment, as I think Dinesh said earlier. Then we get to halftime, and then obviously Klopp makes a change, and we'll find out more. Joe Matip's came. Hope it's not injury. A lot of the tweets are saying we hope it's not an injury, because he's had a brilliant season. I know he wasn't great tonight, but let's be honest, Joe's been outstanding. So hopefully that's not the case. But that's why we've brought Konate in. He can come in, fill the space, no problem. And then I don't know if you want to mention your thoughts on that. Did you obviously, was that announced? That'll be announced in the stadium, Grizz. Was there any? What was your thoughts on that? Quite happy with Konate coming on?
I was more than happy. I thought Matip was struggling. Or maybe struggling's harsh. I don't know how it looked, but he was the weakest link in the whole team. It must have been injury or something.
I feel like he couldn't focus at times, like simple passes.
Or if it was an injury, then big up Jurgen Klopp, because how often have we criticized him for not making the substitution? See it, do it.
Yeah,
we all saw it.
Especially with Matip as well. Especially with Matip,
Especially with Matip. So
I think
if it's injury, hope it's not a long-term injury, and it explains his slightly underwhelming performance. And if it was an injury, then big up Jurgen Klopp. So it's a win-win.
I think by his own lofty standards, giving the ball away twice in dangerous positions is an underwhelming performance for Matip. So we can call it that. But yeah, Ibou Konate makes me feel really good inside. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy and safe, because he's so good and he's so young. It's not talked about, but he could, he's a top 5 signing of the last summer for any team in the Premier League. It has to be said. It has to be said. He has barely put a foot wrong. and he's so young and can only get better from here on out. And he comes on, and I'm sure we'll get into the second half, but he comes into the game and makes even some really telling contributions, not just defensively, but on the ball as well.
Definitely. And just sorry to interrupt, guys, but just before we get in the second half, I wanted to mention some stats to you here. Now, there's going to be another assist and another goal in the second half, but just on this moment, it was announced that that was Trent's 13th assist of the season, and that was Jota's 13th goal. So there's a bit of symmetry there, which in general, I do think, because Jota sometimes has games where he's maybe not great, I think we sometimes downplay the season he's having when it comes to his effectiveness. It's outstanding. And then Trent, 13. Now, that isn't all competitions, but let's be honest, he's free of beating his Premier League record already, or topping it. I think it's 13, so he's got to try and get 14 for it. What a player. But just thought I'd let you know that stat is actually ridiculous. And just another point to why I can't believe, I'm Scottish, right? Obviously, I'm Scottish. We all know I'm Scottish, right? I can't believe why England aren't like backing them to be glorifying them. Like, do you know what I mean? Because like it's there to see. It just
people are saying after you've done all that homework and you still got it wrong apparently, because some are saying it's 14th assist.
No, it's 14th in the second half. It was 13th. Because Trent gets an assist and Jota gets a goal in the second half.
Conroy's got you, lads and lasses. Conroy's got you.
Checkmate.
You got to come back with something.
I was trying to make it go with the order of the game. That's right. Fine.
Can I raise this comment? Because
oh boy, do not guess me.
No. Before I let you go, Konate is not the next Lilian Thuram, and the reason why I'm going to say this is because Konate is the next Desai.
I knew you were going there.
Because Thuram was a total different type of centre back. Thuram wasn't the physically most imposing. Thuram was quick. Thuram was another Gallas, like William Gallas style defender in terms of how do I do man marker, give him an assignment. You know, Marcel Desailly was oozing like massive, huge arrogance but calmness at the same time. Konate is giving me Desai vibes, people. I don't know if you're going to agree, but I think I've hit the nail on the fucking head.
Hey, all I know is that if he becomes as good as either of those players, I'll be over the fucking moon, because those are that's some nice company to be in for a comparison either way. I'm going to leave that to you, Grizz, because obviously I'm a bit young for the Desai era. But
Desai was like obviously I don't think he was. Sometimes he would be overconfident, and that sometimes would kind of affect him. He would make errors and mistakes. But if you was asking me for a comparison in this modern day age, I'm not joking. Like a cross between Virgil and Konate. But I'm not saying as good as, if you know what I mean. Like,
I know what you mean.
Attributes wise, stylistically, you know, and that's why he gives me Desai vibes, man, because Desai would believe in his ability, he knows I'm quicker than you, I know I'm stronger than you, you can't beat me. You know, he would almost sometimes laugh. Do you remember when we played United and Konate laughed at half the United team when they were trying to wrestle him? Do you remember, guys? That's the shit Desai used to do. Do you know what I mean? So you can't beat me.
It's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was sorry, guys. I checked it there. Honestly, I got that. That wasn't my source. But yeah, it is 15 for Trent. So whoever said that during the game or on tweet, a tweet I checked, it is 15 assists for Trent. Apologies, I got
you
that
should
wrong.
know this chat. Don't
no, but
about.
I know, but genuinely, that wasn't me who looked into that. I usually check transfer market, so I'll be having a word with someone on Twitter who got that wrong. But yeah, that's 15.
Guys, 15 assists. I just have to say, do you know how many central midfielders at the highest level that would be their best ever creative return in their career for a whole season? And Trent is here at 23 in January.
But I think that's just his position as well, though, because what I mean that is like he can cross a ball, but Klopp's pushed him centre sometimes, so therefore he can have the midfielder pass on, and he can also have the option of whip it in as a fullback. So because of what he is, he can do that.
I think you're spot on, Conroy, and this is why I will never get on the let's move Trent into midfield train.
Never.
Because for me, Trent winds up in midfield plenty, and he gets plenty of assists from what would be considered.
At the first goal. The first goal, he's higher up.
Exactly. I've seen him in this new system get higher up. I've seen him in the right wing slot. I've seen him in the right side of central midfield. I've seen him playing where Fabinho is. It's very free flowing. And for me, he ends up everywhere. So I don't care where he's starting from. I don't, keep it how it is.
Nikhil Paul sending a super chat. He says, Lindsay Dalglish up the false positive Reds. I mean, fucking hell, man.
I don't get it. Someone explain this to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you was asleep. You and Avi obviously were asleep when all
yeah.
this kicked off, as you guys always are.
How has Lindsay Dalglish ended up in the mouths of Arsenal fans?
Mate, honestly. That's Twitter. One word, Twitter, Grizz.
Okay,
Twitter.
then maybe let's just
No,
move
Grizz,
on.
not explain. Do you want to explain it, Evan? I think Grizz will know more about it because I only saw it slightly.
No,
today.
I've been traveling up and down, so I haven't had a chance to really. But the gist of it, the bullshit gist of it, is something along the lines of The Athletic done a piece. Same journalist, Simon Hughes, decided to rile up every other fan base, even though he's a Liverpool reporter. What happened? What have you just read?
No, it's just I saw a tweet earlier. I'll tell you after the stream. When you said that
so he decided to put an article out in the morning, Evan, first thing in the morning, to rile up every other opposition fan base and say that Liverpool's first results showed a few negatives, but they didn't show conclusive. No. Liverpool's first set of results weren't all positive. But Liverpool then ordered some more tests to be made, ordered in more tests, which then revealed the positives, which turned out to be negative. So in essence, what they were saying is they just, I don't know what.
Lindsay Dalglish worked. I think as the manager.
I was going to say I was going to come to that bit, but I'm trying to explain the first bit really badly. I've done a really awful job. So Liverpool's tests came out fine, negative, but Liverpool weren't sure that they should be fine. They thought that was an error and ordered some more from a company that Lindsay Dalglish apparently was the director. She's not even now. She was the director a few years ago. I don't even think her LinkedIn's been updated. So Arsenal fans turned that into, she conspired with Liverpool and got those and said, I'll get you some more patches, some more tests, make sure that they come out negative and we get the game cancelled.
I mean, hard to argue with that. Good job, Arsenal fans. Sherlock Holmes will need a new assistant soon.
Yeah, I mean, basically, as Dean says, it was an old CV. She doesn't even work there anymore. But
yeah. But that's fair enough. A good super chat.
I expect nothing less from them at this point. That's impressive. To be honest, that's quite the conspiracy. Impressive.
Yeah, it is quite the late night YouTube conspiracies. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Let's just clear this. Let's just clear. That's a conspiracy and that's a dirty rumor, and so is this one. AGD says, "Hey Grizz, where's our buddy Avi? Hope you have not kicked him out. I couldn't dream about kicking Avi out. He's just a very busy man. He's just starting a new job out there, and he's really tied up with that. But he'll be back sooner rather than later."
Of course. But just to jump on, guys, with the second half, we kick off, the game gets going. The first instance I've noted down here, as I remember, to be honest, and linked in what you said earlier about the inclusion of Cade Gordon, Grizz, that movement into the run starts off with Jota. Just to remind you, Jota has it wide. And then I don't know if you want to explain the goal, Grizz, if you got a good view of it at the stadium. I'm sure you did, but of the chance, sorry, not the goal.
I was going to say, yeah.
What was your thoughts on that moment? And obviously you wanted to mention Gordon's movement.
Again, even though we want to praise Gordon for his movement and everything, and even the near post run from Bobby, like Bobby, I had a very good view of that. Bobby was literally, it seemed like holding the defender off.
Yeah,
it looked like he was blocking him. I don't know if you lot saw that.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point because he creates the space. That's a great point. Both of you, Bobby Firmino again tonight.
But Diogo Jota again. Diogo Jota again. Like that, literally, he was a one-man wrecking machine.
Clever,
and
clever.
Someone in the chat earlier said it's so difficult to compare him to any players. And it's so true because that right there was a combination of Torres and Suarez. That's the kind of shit they used to do. Mm-hmm. And if you combine that, so he used the power of Torres, the pace, the power of Torres, and then the trickery of Suarez without it looking pretty. You know how Suarez had that ability to go past people without looking really.
And Suarez
silky?
wasn't rapid. Suarez wasn't like he
No.
was fast. but he
Suarez
wasn't rapid.
was just great at keeping the ball close to him at a high speed, and
Did you not think
essentially,
it was timing as well, though? So see, like how
Timing.
Jota waits for. You know, you're right. You're sorry. You're absolutely right with Suarez, but at times, see like how I think is it who's the defender? I can't remember. Is White.
then it's
No, it's
Ben
White.
White.
It's-
Yeah.
I tell you why it was
He
White.
waits for
Because
him to dive in, and then it's like his body's going one way, so he goes the other way, and that's what reminds me of Suarez. I think both of you guys, great comparison.
For me, I'm sorry, I just
What
have to
a
talk
shit.
about Ben White in that situation real quick. And for me, this is him showing his inexperience. And for the record, I think Ben White's a good player.
I
But
think we all
if,
agree, mate. I think we all quite rate.
if you
White, yeah.
have a winger out there isolated with you and you're following him, the second you guys slow down and you square your hips to the attacker, he's gone. Because at that point, you have to turn and accelerate again. Whereas if you keep your hips like square away from him, you can sort of follow his burst of acceleration and changes of direction. So Jota has absolutely just baited him in and said, "You're inexperienced. You don't know what you're doing, and I'm going to catch you." Like
It's
for me,
he's
that was
gambled. It's
yeah, that
gambled
was-
and I'm coming inside instead of going out on his left. Brilliant.
yeah. So
Jay-
never square your hips is the moral of the story.
Yeah. No, I love, mate, honestly, guys, you just learn so much. I know we say this all the time in the show, but the two comments about Bobby, I didn't even notice that in the game, and I was trying to see everything. And this is why I love the show. We come in, we'll analyse the full game. It's brilliant. But on the actual chance, guys, I want to stick to you because obviously I called it, but you got to see the youngster in action. What was your thoughts? It's great movement, but when it comes across, got to score. What do you think?
100%. First, Jay Rich, if you did see me, I wasn't wearing this hat. I was wearing my war hat. I always wear to away games when it's war.
I saw
so-
Grizz run onto the pitch.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
That's how we got home early.
That beat Jota's turn of pace, my brother. That beat Jota's turn of
Yeah,
pace.
you're rapid, Grizz. I had no idea. Wow.
But look, when Jota does that, automatically you think that's such a Mo Salah movement, and we're just anticipating the net to bulge because do you know what I mean? You got to score that.
And he keeps it
And-
low. The cross is low from Jota. He keeps it
It's
low as well for
perfect.
him. Yeah, perfect.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. And you think to yourself, just get it on target, and there's a very good chance because of the distance, how far it's out. It should, if you hit it with enough power, the keeper may not get a chance to react to it, even though he's a good reaction stopper. We'll give him that, right? But he misses it. He blazes it over. I quickly looked at Jurgen Klopp's reaction. And obviously, Jurgen Klopp has put so much faith in this kid. He could not show any emotion. So he quickly turns around and does that. But he makes a very, I think, bold attempt to quickly come back. So by the time Cade Gordon looks, because Cade Gordon, the first thing he done was look over to the main man himself, like shit, and Klopp was like, no, brilliant movement, like go again. I thought that was lovely to see. That was brilliant to see, man.
It's management, isn't it?
I was so wanting to score, Conroy. You know why?
Because we genuinely would have like been the greatest
we
fortune
killed
tellers in the
Dan
world.
because Dan was like,
Yeah, I know.
hey, who?
I know. Honestly, that would
And
have
we're
a million views right now.
If he
honest.
scores tomorrow, this is gonna.
I mean, he's still pretty good to be fair, but that would have been the icing on the top of the cake, wasn't it? But it was not to be. But then, just before we get into the second goal, Evan, I want to touch on another instance that happened. Probably for me, I think personally, it's a massive chance as well. Konaté's header. What was your thoughts on that, Evan? At times, you feel like that's a crucial miss, or
as you know. There's an easy case to be made that he should score because he's wide open. He has all day to think about it. But at that point, what I was thinking after it hit the post and we didn't score, I was just happy to see some good fucking set pieces again.
Yeah,
holy shit. I feel like even though we have the most impressive set piece numbers in the Premier League, it doesn't feel it because the last month it's been bad. Let's just call it for
that's
what it
like
is.
a false ceiling though, because we all know we're not, the consistency of set piece is just not good.
But it was so weird because as soon as you can tell it's going to be a good corner within the first 5 yards of the ball traveling.
Exactly.
Or not even the first man, Conrad. You can tell just like a second after someone strikes it if it's going to be good or not. And so when Trent made that contact and it's out swinging, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And luckily, Konate was at the back post. And let me just say that I am now fully an out-swinging corner guy. I used to be totally in-swinger when it came to set pieces. I am now firmly out-swinging. I've seen the light. It's way better than in-swinging. I just want to put that out there. Hopefully that sparks a very niche debate in the comments. Out-swinging or in-swinging, guys, let me know.
I was going to say, I think the variety has to be there. But before we carry on, wow. Congratulations. Shaq's a regular in our chat.
Always in the chat.
Absolutely. Big up, guys. Got married
awesome,
yesterday.
man.
Perfect wedding, man. Gift by Liverpool FC. Amazing. Congratulations from all the team here, man, and including Avi as well, I'll say on his behalf, and Keith, man.
And Keith.
Big up yourself and your family, man, and your missus. Congratulations to you both. If Diogo ends up with 30 goals and assists, is he world class? He's already world class.
He's already the best Portuguese forward
Nikhil,
in the league.
he's already world class, man, 100%.
I could see him getting that. I would, if I placed a bet right now, I think he will get 30. He'll hit 30 goals and assists.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh wow, we got Alex in the chat as well. Big up Alex, who's going to come on and do some shows on us on random players that we have no knowledge about, and Alex is going to fill us in. He says Liverpool versus Chelsea, what a game that's going to be. Titanic battle. Just very quickly on the set pieces, like Evan said, Conrad, I felt confident about set pieces today, and the reason for that is, again, we've started putting our two players in the box. Like, simple. Like, I talk about that spine. We have got Virgil, Konate or Matip. We've got Fabinho, Henderson, and then we've got Jota and Bobby, who are bloody handy in the air as well. That's 6 players that should be in the opposition box every time, because they are all 6 foot plus. So, and today, even though Arsenal picked a very attacking lineup, we got the Arsenal lineup yesterday. Let's not forget, Conrad, we got the Arsenal lineup.
I know.
Spot on as well.
Fair play to Dan. Dan got that
absolutely. Spot on. But even though they're young and very quick and nimble, I noticed that they're not the tallest this time round. Literally, they're not the tallest. So I thought we're going to try to do that. And I felt as though we made a concerted effort to concentrate on our set pieces. I don't know how they looked to you guys on the screen.
No, you're right, Grizz. They didn't. They looked like they were aiming for not necessarily the back post, but kind of definitely going for more that area than trying a front post header. It's, to me anyway, because Robbo's cross for the Matip disallowed goal, that's kind of aiming for more to the further back post, centrally, but further back. And then obviously for Konate's, it's a great set piece on the money by Trent. Do you think he should score, Grizz? Maybe I'm being harsh.
We only get one chance to look at it. It looked like a free header. You got to get on target.
It's kind of far away.
When you're centre back though, who heads constantly, I think for me you've got to hit the target at least. But that's my opinion.
Do you head offensively constantly as a centre back? Probably not.
But what I mean is the distance wise, I think he should be able to get it. But you know what? Maybe at the time I was frustrated because to me it kind of felt like, guys, I don't know, obviously you were in the stadium, Grizz, but it felt like we're going to rue these misses. That's Cade Gordon missed that chance, should have scored. He just hit the post. I could see Arsenal get snatching a equaliser, then the momentum turns to them. So that's why maybe I was a bit cynical at the time.
I just thought. I mean, did you guys speak about? Did you notice the Lacazette's chance at the start of the second half?
Oh, wait, you get to that.
Good point.
I thought that's the only.
It was that was the only.
I can't remember anything. Obviously,
he was onside when they showed a replay. Yeah, he was, like, it would have been close. Like VAR would have drawn lines, but like he was offsides in the way offsides used to be, he was onsides in the way offsides used to be interpreted. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought that was Conroy asks the question, did you guys think that we're going to rue the chances? Again, I felt even more comfortable in the second half, Conroy. I genuinely did.
Did you get that feeling the fans took
over?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't stop. Like,
yeah.
You could see then.
That, yeah. And
you know what? Konate gave us that vibe. Like, he increased that vibe. Because Martinelli was showing signs of being quick and too quick for Matip a couple of times. Konate wasn't having that.
No,
not going to have that issue.
I just wanted to touch on just the second half and how you felt, Grizz. Like, I also felt better because I thought that even though one goal is never enough, and we've blown some leads this season, definitely. Arsenal never replicated anything from that opening 15 minutes again. They never had a spell like that again. So they never really came back into the game. And for me, their performance today mirrored a lot of what we saw from them at Anfield in the league when we won 3-0. If you guys remember, Arsenal had another impressive opening 20-30 minutes in that Premier League game at Anfield. But then eventually, our quality saw us through the game. So, and that's why I opened this by saying Arsenal are quite a bit better than what they used to be. People in the chat didn't like me saying that, but all I meant was that Arsenal absolutely owned the first 15 minutes, and it's night and day difference from where they were in March 2020 when Arteta first took over. But Lacazette, I don't think he believes he's onside. Did you get that? I sort of got that vibe from his body language in terms of how he shot. It was very casual.
Yeah, he's early, doesn't he? Yeah.
He's leaning back, hitting it on the half volley. I thought that was weird. Like, that's not how you take a chance like that. If you're confident, you're not.
So, some of the chat were saying they obviously crediting Robertson for coming across to put him off. But I get what you're saying. The striker might take a touch in that situation and settle himself to shoot. But to be honest, like we mentioned, Kelleher, I'm confident in Kelleher in that situation. A bit like, obviously not the same as Alisson, but he's grown so much in stature, and I felt like, do you know what? If he does get this shot away, you're confident that he can pull a save off if it's not right in the corner.
Yeah, so, I think we have a big challenge on our hands next summer of keeping Kelleher out of another Premier League team's hands, because I just don't know how long you can keep. How old is Kelleher? 22, 23? I don't know how long you can keep a clearly Premier League quality 22, 23-year-old keeper away from a team that can offer him 38 games a season. Because we obviously can't offer him that, cursed by arguably the best keeper in the world in our ranks. But I think it's going to be a real challenge to keep him accepting of his number 2 status.
But again, shout out to him, though. Really stepped up. It could have been easily for him to. Alisson plays the first leg, he comes in. The pressure is on because it's a big game for him. It's a semi-final, and fair play again. He steps up. As I say, he's always impressed me since that Arsenal 5-5, where I thought he wasn't good enough. Whatever he's done since then, up these levels.
I think there's a case to be made that Kelleher fits into this team better just because he's comfortable with the ball at his feet. Probably even more so than Alisson at this point. He's so comfortable with the ball at his feet, and I would go out on a limb and say that Kelleher fits in so well because he's good with his feet, not so great of a shot stopper. He would fit in better than if we had like an elite shot stopping number 2 keeper who was horrible with his feet. You know what I mean? I feel like that profile of keeper would come back and bite us in the ass a lot more than Kelleher.
I'm in agreement.
You're not having to adapt, and I feel like you can definitely tell that Kelleher, since that Arsenal 5-5 game, has actually worked on his ability. And his feet as well. Like, you can just tell because his confidence now, he'll spray balls, and that's going to get better as well. The keepers have got a long time, but we'll get into that more and maybe a show specifically for that. But to stick with the game, the next big instance, folks, is the one which, we talk about Trent's 15th assist. And Grizz, I'll let you take this one, because obviously in the stadium watching that, you get to see the wizard right foot that is Trent. It's Martinelli who loses the ball, then he gets it, and then I'll let you explain the rest. What was that like, and how did you think that goal was?
I've often said I hate saying that to appreciate Trent Alexander-Arnold, you need to see him in the flesh play football. His vision and his weight of passes and the way he picks out players, you can't explain it on the screen. Like, we see that chip pass and we see him whip crosses in and free kicks or whatever gets assists, but when you see him live and you see that no other player, even midfield players, like Fabinho, like Henderson, don't see the passes he sees. And that's why I agree when Evan says that I'm not moving him anyway, because he's got the best position.
We're all in agreement there, guys. All in agreement there.
So people that say, "Oh, just just put him in midfield and he'll do it from midfield. It's a total different ball game. It's a total different zone.
There's
vision,
other things to think
angle.
about. There's other issues you need to learn as well. It's not as easy as people are painting it as well. And I feel like we maximise his ability in this position.
And
Yeah,
I was just gonna say real quick, to all the people who are absolutely fiending to see Trent in midfield, that's what FIFA is for. Go put him in the middle in FIFA if you absolutely have to see him there. So,
but Evan, guys, in any other team apart from possibly Cancelo and City, and I'm trying to think Europe, right? There's very few teams, and let's put it that way, there's very few teams forwards that as soon as the ball is in the vicinity of Trent, go mad in their movement. Because they know it's automatically. Do you remember Inzaghi used to have that for Kaka, right? But we're talking Kaka in central midfield, Inzaghi, right? Or Zizou used to have that for Ronaldo used to have that for Zizou, right? I'm telling you guys, I've been at games where Mane and Mo, and obviously Jota today, just go wild. You know, like when you release chickens, like they've been locked up in the morning. You guys farms chickens. You get the.
I've had chickens, yeah.
No, not had chickens, Evan. You know, like you've seen chickens when you release chickens and they go mad everywhere, right?
My chickens that I owned. I've had chickens.
He's literally owns chickens.
Can you put some videos in the WhatsApp? I need to see some. Right? To prove it.
But they know it's going to come, Grizz, and it's like they know you'll find them if he can.
It's magic. It's magic the way they know, because that's the quality he's showing in training in every game. And look, we can talk about his deficiencies and which fucking player on this earth doesn't have deficiencies, and which right back, such a tender age, still for a right back, still for a defender, hasn't deficiencies. But my God, his strengths are outweighing any deficiency that he or anyone else has.
Just to add, Grizz, by the way, because you've not watched the game live, you've not seen any analysts on TV. That is literally what they said. They literally went, look at the strikers' reaction. Sorry, forwards, not really strikers. Jota's reaction tonight, Mane, Salah, they're all on their bike as soon as he gets it.
Every time though, every time they got the ball, every time he got the ball, they were like, Cade Gordon was just heading off, like, like American football. When certain quarterbacks and and the wide receivers don't look at them,
just go.
Their first movement is to move forward. Now, obviously, I'm not no American football expert, whatever, but I'm talking about the technique and the mindset. It's like go and attack space, and then he'll see you, he'll find you,
and it's like second nature, because they work together so much now that it's. I just wanted to credit your analyst, Chris, because that's what they were saying in the TV studio. So, as I said,
I also have to applaud it, because I think you make two great points. First thing I thought of is you mentioned Kaká and Inzaghi. First thing that comes to mind is Champions League Final 2005. Kaká sends Gerrard spinning in the midfield, looks up, and Crespo is on his bike. Crespo is just jetting immediately.
How good was that pass? Seriously, how good was that?
One of the best passes I've ever seen.
Pass, unbelievable.
But it was the exact same thing, Grizz. Like Crespo sees Kaká look up in his general area, and he just goes, because he knows that's the best player in the world and he can pick me out. And another thing you touched on, just sort of the automatic movement. You mentioned Cade Gordon. I think we skipped something that I want to talk about. There was a chance that Konate actually springboards. You remember when he sort of hit a curling through ball out to Trent on the right hand side, and Trent goes up and he hits that low cross into Cade Gordon. And it sort of flashes across. Cade sort of swings and doesn't make connection.
Yeah.
It was the exact same thing. Trent has 5 yards of space in front of him. Cade's already pointing to where he wants it, and he's already darting, and he's already making that run. And I wanted to applaud Konate for that, because to anybody who still doesn't think that a lack of available center backs last season hurt our attack, look what happens when you have center backs in your team that can play passes as well as your most creative midfielder. And I have to applaud Konate for that vision, because it was so sudden. He just springboarded. It was such a decisive moment of quality that we missed so dearly last season, and I will never take it for granted again. And also, Grizz, another third thing that I really liked about what you said is that's the first thing I think of when I think of Trent, when you try to think of an adjective. He's a quarterback. I mean, the parallels are there. Normally cross sports comparisons are a bit wide of the mark, but for me, it works perfectly. The ball's in his possession more than any other player, damn near, on the pitch, and he has every type of pass in his locker, and everyone knows that he's capable of picking them out. So,
and he's not as predictable about it, which I like as well. He doesn't do it every time, because that in itself can get stagnant, and we've seen that before because it gets predictable and teams work it out. He mixes it up a lot. He'll come centrally, as you mentioned. He'll go out wide to whip it in. He's just adding strings to your bow. We got it right this time. But on that, Grizz, I'll stick with you because you never got a chance to go full into the goal. So Trent gets it, he plays the ball. What's it like at the stadium? Obviously, I'll let you take over, mate.
Yeah, look, the first and foremost thing is there were similarities to the Jota situation, where in the first leg where Xhaka
it's Robertson
hacks
over
him down.
And Xhaka.
So it's a matter of if Jota can get away from Xhaka, then we have a similar scenario. This time, Ben White's not. I don't know how you want to describe it. Ben White's I don't think quick enough to get close enough to kick him, or he's thinking.
I think he knows he's getting sent off if he does it.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Or he's thinking we're already 1-0 down. I'll gamble and hope that Jota messes it up, or his first touch is not good, or Ramsdale does something significant. Neither of that happens. What happens is Jota takes it down on his chest. Jota knows exactly where Ramsdale is. Ramsdale is in no man's land, and it's brilliant. Then the referee gives it offside and linesman. But I'm always looking at Jota's reaction throughout the whole thing. And Jota's adamant that he's not offside. And usually when you see that kind of run that he's made, or most attackers, or intelligent attackers, and this really grew on me, lads, because when an intelligent attacker makes that kind of run, he knows where he is in terms of the last defender or the line, and he knows if he's offside or not. And normally it gives it away. They know they're just offside, or they usually moan to the passer like, quicker, like if you'd done it 1 second earlier. Jota was adamant, no, I'm onside. Go and check that. So that's why we kept hope alive but there was silence, lads. There was fucking silence in the crowd. Like the Arsenal fan base was totally like this is life.
They knew, Grizz, because it looked like it could. Obviously, at the
well,
stadium,
we can't tell if it looked.
Yeah.
I just saw the pass, I saw the finish, celebration, and then a few Arsenal fans the offside goes. But then they turns to because it's gone to VAR, right?
That would be VR. Never do that with VR.
So then it's gone to VAR, and they went waving at us like, you wankers. Like, all right, mate, who's the wankers now? Because then they suddenly went like this in their chairs, like this, like totally down their chairs. Is this going to be given? And when it's given, that's it. I told you guys. The first thing I could think of is like, I need to go back and make this show tonight. That's what I was thinking.
Here's the thing. I'm sure all of us, I speak for all three of us when I say that we've all sort of learned to hold our celebrations, especially when we're watching at home, with those goals, because essentially we've all developed that instinct at that point, knowing that we shouldn't celebrate certain goals fully. But I was so certain he was onside. And when the flag went up, I was like, nope, no. Actually, this time I'm just as sure as Diogo Jota was that was a legitimate goal. And, they spent a really long time looking at it, I thought, which is something that I'm not entirely pro VAR on. I'd like it to be a little more, and I think I speak for the people in the crowd as well, Grizz. It kind of kills your buzz. You want the game to flow. You want decisions to be made. There was no doubt for me. And, Ben White, I think, plays it well, not in the sense that he refrained from kicking Jota in the chest, but just in the sense that I think he had the presence of mind to know that it's going to take one hell of a first touch off of his chest to keep that away from my goalkeeper. And when the ball was hanging in the air, I just, he's a
little guy as well. He's not massive. He's only like 5'9", 5'10".
Exactly. But he was quick enough and skilled enough to take a perfectly weighted touch off his chest and to get in front of Ben White to say that if you touch me, I'm going to go down. Ben White refrains. And the dink is just is just great. I love it when players start celebrating when the ball is still 6 yards off the line.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so
because they know they've hit it at the right height, the right pace enough to go in. Like nothing's going to stop
the camera angle, Grizz. Obviously, you're at the stadium, but see, actually, the Emirates camera is pretty good on the TV, so you actually see it, and you're just like.
My favorite one of those of all time is Firmino away to Crystal Palace 16-17 in the lime green kit. And my favorite thing afterwards is there was a bunch of salty Crystal Palace fans trying to say the goal shouldn't have stood because technically Firmino had taken his shirt off before the ball crossed the line.
Fuck off.
So it was
is that when he dinks Henderson through ball when he dinks?
Yeah. And I was like, that is the funniest thing of all time. Like,
I just want to read this shout out to Miz, who's actually a Chelsea fan. And he's got a very good Chelsea channel as well, people. So go and check him out. He says, big up to you, lads, and congrats on making the final. I would love to know when you guys were linked with Jota, were you all excited? He was very good in Wolves, but now he's hitting new levels. I can't speak for the other two guys, but I come with receipts. So I am going to show you my tweet from way back when I said, everyone's talking about Jimenez, and I can't remember who else. But I said Jota.
Werner, wasn't it?
Hey, Grizz,
no. I'm talking about
Wolves. Sorry,
I'm talking about Wolves. Like, you know, all the forwards of Wolves. I said Jota is the one. He'd be electric under Klopp.
I remember that tweet, Grizz, and you can, if you pull it up in your computer right now, there's the share button on the bottom of the StreamYard. You can share it to the screen if you want to.
I'm too hyped.
I've got too many things right today.
Exactly.
Gordon, too many things.
The man himself is in the chat. And I think Conroy's got it on his agenda. So
we're still going through the
sabr. That means patience. Sabr.
Yeah. Don't send him the link, Chris.
I was excited for Jota, by the way, because we're really good at buying players, generally speaking. So yeah,
analytically as well. I feel like our analysts get it right. Probably we say 8 times, 9 times out of 10. We could maybe have a show on that as well, rating our signings the last 5 years. Maybe I'll write that down for another time.
You have like an extra 10% chance of it being a success if it's bought in that 30 to 40 million pound sweet spot that we always look for. So yeah, that you get extra points for that.
And it's just to add, guys, just on this goal before we move on. The touch in itself, right, is perfect. Just to add to what you said, Evan, because it really does make Ben White have to make a decision. And I think someone actually said this, and the analyst, Paul Merson, said, is that's when you know it's a clever footballer.
Did you just mention analyst and then Paul Merson in the same sentence?
I'm not meaning that. I'm just going off by what they've done, right? But in general, he says that. I'm saying it because that's why I want to highlight how smart Jota is. Like, there's certain footballers who are just clever. And the fact that he does that touches, he knows that Ben White could technically probably catch him and do something to him, but if he makes any contact, he's not going to win the ball. It's going to be a penalty, probably sent off. And it's a symbol or a sign of the player's intelligence. And then, I just wanted to add as well, guys, it might be some people might not like it, but listen, we need VAR. That's why we need VAR. See if that didn't stand. No VAR tonight, and Arsenal score in the last minute. It goes to extra time. The momentum goes to Arsenal. We feel like we've Cade Gordon's missed a sitter, Konaté's hit the post, and then we've had a disallowed goal. We'd be on the floor, and that's why VAR. I stand by it. I think it's important, and I think it will get better. And again, I was delighted that it was used in the semi-final.
I agree with everything you say about VAR as a wider picture, but I do have to say, pre-VAR, I doubt the linesman's going to put his flag up for that, because keep in mind he let the play develop. It was one of those things where
why do you not think though? Because it'd get checked anyway.
Well, yeah. I guess all I'm saying is it goes both ways. Like, you could easily say that the linesman's like, that's close enough for me, but because of VAR, he can now say, oh, I can put my flag up now because I thought it was, a matter of inches, so we can check it.
Yeah, it's hard to be a linesman though, mate. Like, see when you actually see how fast it goes, like it is. Like, I saw like that. Neville, it's very hard to call.
I'm convinced it's harder than being the center ref in a lot of ways. I absolutely think it is. I mean, as the center ref.
Do you know why, Evan? Do you know why? Because they haven't got clear directives when to pull it up, when not to pull it up.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's a fucking proper mix-up of subjective calls.
And
technically, if it's tight and they're not sure, they're meant to let the play go.
Exactly. But I guess in the past, maybe a linesman thinks that that's too close. I'm technically guessing if I put my flag up.
I agree.
So also, just on Paul Merson real quick, some of the opinions I see on Twitter make Paul Merson look like Guardiola. Like, so I've heard Paul Merson come with a few good takes.
I thought Redknapp was okay tonight. People like to hate on Redknapp. I think that Tom Brady comment was quite reasonable, to be fair. Or he said it a couple of times.
I like that. Good cross
Yeah,
sports.
it was.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good to mix up a bit. But okay, the goal goes in, it gets overturned, elation, and then we all agree that that's us. Wembley, here we come. And then it's just a great feeling. I think there's a few substitutes. Shout out to Avi as well. Taki comes on in between that time, plays well, so probably gets his head mentally, scored at the weekend, comes on, will get through. He'll feel a lot better as well.
I thought his touch was short, when he came on.
Yeah, and what I liked Grizz too as well is he looked strong when he came on. Like he successfully shielded the ball.
Confident when he came on, mate.
One of my big criticisms of Taki is the physical profile thing, which I've questioned is whether that's for the Premier League or not. But today, when he backed into players, he was backing into players rather than kind of dissolving as he normally would. So physically he looked good. Grizz said he looked composed, and I can't help but agree.
So Dean says Taki looked far more comfortable on the right where he's played for Salzburg.
Really?
Did he play a lot on the right for Salzburg?
He played in a few different positions, but fair play to Dean. He definitely looked good, and it's ironic because you think that would be the worst position for him because he's not really going to run down the wing. But as I said before, he's intricate enough to work it. And do you know what? I still think he was good when he came on. The one thing I want to mention, the last big incident, folks, and then we can get on to the star players for you, and we'll mention Curtis Jones because I know Avi is desperate, would be the last really big incident, would say a person who's playing at the AFCON and got knocked out yesterday, came on and got 2 yellow cards. In the space of 3 minutes, he got 2 yellow cards. Evan, what was your thoughts on that of Thomas Partey?
Apart from it being absolutely hilarious, probably not right. If I'm being serious, like you shouldn't be, waking up in one country and then playing in another country the same day. I mean, something. Again, guys, we're not experts.
But Evan, whose call is that?
Exactly. People more qualified than me, Grizz. Exactly. People more qualified than me. But as a casual who's just looking in from the outside, something about it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. We could debate forever about what might not be right. But yeah, Thomas Partey is a bit of an idiot for getting sent off like that. 2 needless tackles, if I'm being entirely serious. I couldn't believe he managed to get a second yellow. Exactly, jet lag. I've had jet lag. I've never played a professional game of football before, but I've been jet lagged before. And it sucks.
So I think the mental side of that though is definitely a question there, guys. Come on, like you just got put out with Ghana in the group stage. That's a bit of a disaster for them.
You're not mentally there. You're not mentally
all over the place.
No, you're definitely not right. And you're thrust into what you could maybe make a case for as Arsenal's biggest game of their season, given where they are as a club. They're not in Europe, things like that. So yeah, I don't agree with him even being on the bench. But like Grizz says, I'm just some idiot on the internet, and there's people with PhDs that say he absolutely can play. So again.
By the way, sorry guys, I'm having because you can imagine.
What you got?
I didn't stop for my customary kebab and food and everything because I was so excited to reach you guys. Yeah, I've got my usual. I'm on a diet, Evan. I've got my light Alpen again, like I told you last time. I've got a pack of these.
Oh, lovely. That is strawberry. Is that a chocolate flavored one?
No, this is light chocolate.
Oh, lovely.
Guys, today's video is sponsored by Alban Light. Use the code Grizz.
Yeah, and if you want to see Grizz's Grizz's McBang channel, that's actually a new show that will be coming soon. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna very quickly before you guys move on with the Partey, guys. I've managed to see a clip of it, and it's an awful decision to give him a yellow card for that.
Straight red.
We've won. We're in the final. Fuck them. Fuck the referee. Fuck the fan base. I don't give a shit. This is not bitterness. This is not sour grapes. That's a disgusting tackle. A disgusting tackle. And now I just seen it.
Looks worse the more you see it.
Fabinho was okay, right?
Yeah, he's fine. But it does look dangerous the more you see it, yeah.
Wait, oh, so you're saying it should have been a straight red, Grizz?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I need to see that again. Because my My initial reaction was, "You're an idiot. That's going to be a yellow." I
I
didn't know.
thought
Yeah, I
because
didn't
of the,
see that.
I
I
thought
didn't
because
see
of the
it.
studs, because I thought because of
Hold
the
on.
position in the boot. Sometimes if it's a little bit straightforward, they'd give a straight red. But because
I'm
it's
trying to
slightly
see it
closer to
again
the
on
boot.
Twitter
Guys,
right
let
now.
me know in the chat. Like, am I seeing things or I don't
No,
know?
a lot of people find that in the chat as well, Grizz. That the reason I thought it was just a yellow was because of the kind of
Yeah.
when you've seen them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we couldn't change that to straight red, but like because it was down the way, but he still catches him on the ankle quite severely. So I could see that. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, but shout out to Dog Leash's daughter up in the VAR stand pulling the strings tonight.
Yeah, she was everywhere.
Appreciate it. She was incredible.
Listen,
Don't get started.
Joshua, I would celebrate with a bit more than an Alpen light, but I've set myself targets, my brother.
What is in an Alpen light? What is that?
That's the name of what I had, basically.
No, I know it's the name of what you have, but what's in it? Like, what is it?
Chocolate and fudge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh no, you want to know like
What?
I know
what's
what you mean.
in it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Grizz, I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. I'm just bringing up. It's Kareem, who's an Arsenal fan, said, "I agree with you, Grizz. Even as Arsenal fan, it was a straight red." So, thanks for your honesty, Kareem. We appreciate that. We love the chat. It's always good.
Yeah, shout out the Arsenal fans that have braved to come on our channel. Big up yourselves. We haven't even discussed or disrespected you guys from that aspect and angle. What a lot of other channels may choose to do, we don't. We just focused on our performance because that's what we wanted to do. We lightly touched upon sort of the social media side of the fan base and whatnot, but that's just banter. That's normal. But we're not here to talk other clubs down and individuals, wherever. Evan, it was a great question, and I was trying to work out what you're getting at, and I know what you mean. So this is an actual cereal bar.
Oh, okay.
Mixed cereal bar with fudge pieces, plain chocolate, and a plain chocolate drizzle.
Sounds delectable. Sounds absolutely delectable. No Alpen lights here in the States, unfortunately. So I'm out of luck.
Yeah, we need to get that to you, mate. Get a shipment over.
If the company Alpen are watching this, and they should be,
we'll wear the merch. We'll wear the free merch. We'll wear t-shirts.
Alpen, listen, you guys have a market in California just waiting to be tapped into. So hit me up.
I don't know if you want to take this.
Yeah, sure. So Delwyn Jones, Delwyn is always in the chat. How are we doing, mate? Boys, what's your thoughts on Klopp's comment about Martinelli? Klopp rates him highly. Another Jota type of player. We should be all over him in the summer. Thanks to Super Chat, mate, as always. Grizz, you mentioned a little bit about that. He's both mentioned off air about Martinelli. I've not seen the comments. So Delwyn, see if you let me know. I don't know if you guys know. If you can just a normal chat, I'll check the comments. We know
I think it was the Klopp hug, and then after he said, "Guys, check, keep an eye on Martinelli." Now, what he meant was not keep an eye on Martinelli to Liverpool. What he meant was this guy is going places, like one of those ones.
Exact quote is Martinelli. By the way, everyone should remember that name. He's an outstanding player.
He was the only threat, guys, from a Liverpool fan watching the game. Like, I know we're going to touch upon individuals and we're going to touch upon Robertson as a result, but Martinelli was sensational. Every time he got the ball, the whole Arsenal fan base just stood up when he gets the ball. He's that kind of player. But I think he tired, and we kind of got him in the end.
But what sorry, Evan, you go, mate.
No, go ahead, Conrad.
I was just going to say, like, Saka's Arsenal through and through, right? We know that, right? And he's not, but maybe Martinelli, maybe there's a bit more of leniency there. Maybe you could actually Dean. I don't think. Delwyn, I don't think you're a million miles off with that. Pressing wise, he would suit us. He'd fit us like a glove.
I think is a. Sorry, that was Evan. I'll have some tea.
I was just gonna say I've seen roughly 50% of Arsenal's Premier League games this season, and can one of you guys or one of the Arsenal fans in the chat let me know, is Martinelli kind of like Greenwood in the sense that he's a central player being forced to play out wide to accommodate other people, or is he an out and out winger?
Can I come in before the chat, because this is one of those I got my hand up before the chat, so I get to answer first. And plus, it's my show. So it's your channel. No, I'm joking. But Evan, I used to think exactly that, but a lot of the Arsenal fan base that I speak to say no, he's a wide forward. That's
Okay.
because I said, how is he not playing through the middle? He's got so much movement and pace. And I remember the goal he scored against Chelsea, where he literally ran from the halfway line.
Yeah.
But apparently, his best work is done out in the wide position. But as Conroy asked, in terms of profile of a wide forward and that modern wide forward that we talk about in terms of Cade Gordon, Mohamed Salah, Mane, inverted wingers type thing, this guy is the
because he can finish as well, Grizz. I don't know if you saw his goal against West Ham. That's a proper wing forward goal, but I feel like you wouldn't have a problem getting him more centrally as well to get goals at certain instances. Just brilliant. Again, the chat, just the knowledge is always superb. But yeah, that maybe we can touch on that at the transfer show. Maybe we'll touch a wee Martinelli point. But guys, just to get on the players, and I'll just go around. Evan, who is a player that you wanted to mention? Who there's obviously a lot of players who are very good tonight. But
how many can we mention?
If you had to narrow it down, obviously I'll say Jones just to keep Ave happy.
Gotcha,
right? But you can go with something
else. Jones deserves a shout. Just real quick, I'll have Jones as my honorable mention. I'll just put it like that because Jones for me, exactly how I've been describing him just on Twitter the last couple of weeks. Just a guy with all the skill in the world who just needs to improve his decision making, and you could see it today. He was the spark and the source of so many positive moments for us in that game. But you could see at times his decision making was either not assertive enough or just not quite there. But that's going to come. You know what I mean? I've said it before and I'll say it again. What you can't teach a footballer, he already has. And what you can teach a footballer, we can teach him how to do. Patience, my friends. And I guess with the player I got to give it to the guy who got the brace, Diogo Jota. And of course, he finishes the chances we would expect him to finish because he's a great finisher. But I thought Jota's general play went up a level today because in the past, or just in the past month, he's been accused of not affecting the match if he's not scoring. And that's been a fair comparison. Now, I will say generally this season, since August, it's been a big improvement in his general play. When he's played through the middle, he's been able to do a passable, acceptable Firmino impression, just in terms of linking things and flicking things on and things like that. Today, Today, I thought he rediscovered what he showed early on in the season. And on top of that...
why are you reading my mind, mate? You honestly.
Well, it's because we have an understanding. Listen, you guys have to hear me talk so much.
You're so spot on. Just keep going, mate. Sorry.
But can I say something? No, sorry.
I'm done because that's all I wanted to say. Obviously, let's applaud him for winning us the game, but let's also applaud him for just becoming a better overall all-around player today. His build-up and link-up and just... the TikTok of the attack was great.
Look, both of you guys have spoken about all of that, and I totally agree. And obviously, there's nothing to be said on top of that. But can I mention something else that I noticed today, and very visibly because I was there? We always talk about leaders throughout our team, and we know that we've got so many leaders without having to have the captain's armband. So we know Robertson's a fucking captain. We know Virgil's a captain. Matip's very vocal. Henderson, Fabinho, we know about, right, and everything. And obviously when Mo and Mane are playing, I was looking forward to seeing how he lifts everyone around him because Jota's got this, sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, he's got this slight image with some of the fan base that he's very selfish about himself, doesn't, he's not worried about the team's others may be in certain moves. He gets, he's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Single-minded. And it's not a bad thing. Tunnel vision. Yeah. Sometimes he's got that tunnel vision about him. Guys, today he was like getting everyone going, cajoling, speaking to Curtis, speaking to Cade, Bobby. When we scored the goals, I'm like, I'm not one of these guys that just goes wild and mad and selfie sticks going everywhere. And I like to see the players' reactions of what they're doing, what the coaches are saying. I'm just boring like that, right? Like everyone's having a party. I'm just sat there, planning.
Fascinating. It's fascinating to see interaction.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by the reaction. Jota, even after the first goal, was like, we need to step on it because it's not good enough. You could literally see him talking. And the second goal, he knew he scored and he was like, let's keep the press. Don't let it die down. Don't let them gain any sort of momentum. and the way he's talking about, I thought he played like a leader today, and that's the first time I've seen him
Mm-hmm.
take that responsibility on, and it bodes so well.
No, great point. I just to add, I think he's both summed it up brilliantly. I would say that Jota tonight, see Tomiyasu, like he deserves his credit definitely, but he'd done him once and then he knew his head was gone, or not head was gone, but he just could not cope with him. Jota kept dropping deep for a throw or pass and was just spinning in behind. I counted 4 times he'd done it in the game, guys. 4 times on Tomiyasu, just had him all over the shop. And he's been good, give him his credit, but tonight you'll have nightmares about Jota tonight because he really did give him the runaround in the first half. But to me,
some flowers for you too. Evan is good, so is Conrad and all. I might not always see the show live, but I really miss a show. Thank you, Kieran.
Shout out. Thanks, man.
But on that, Grizz, I know I go on about him sometimes, right? You know what it is, right? We're used to Mane, Salah, Bobby, right? It must be hard to be the newcomer, right? But to me, I feel like he's created... There's some fans who Jota will be their favourite player because there is something about him. You might not like him all the time, but to me, it's not arrogant. There's a confidence like that I can be the best. Like there's 100% is like to me, it's like he stepped up tonight and showed that, and I feel like he can do a passable Firmino, play now. I think sometimes at times he's had poorer games this season, but he's very good at the quick passing to start off attacks. Like he's always looking for that first time pass to go. I love that because if it comes off, it's great. I just think it's the variety. Mane and Salah are coming back, and it's just brilliant.
Guys, Paulie Walnuts, who's a legend as well of the chat. I don't know, Evan, if you want to take this because this is such a great point.
I mean, if you can be comfortable existing in that Portuguese lineup where you're shouting and communicating at Cristiano Ronaldo on what you need more from him, then you should be able to shout and communicate at, Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah for what you want more from. That's
a brilliant point.
Shout out Paulie Walnuts, my favorite Sopranos character. Absolutely.
Yeah. Always good. Paulie's always
yeah. Paulie is great. Jota. People say, he's been, you guys called it tunnel vision. Some people would call it selfish. I prefer to say that I think our strongest front three right now of Mo, Sadio, and Jota is just 3 guys who are kind of like shoot first attackers. You know what I mean? In the sense that they back themselves.
I do think they have games, though. I wouldn't say it's all the time because there is definitely games where I do feel like they do try to if there's a better option on. However, you are right. There's certain occasions where they're very tunnel vision.
The closer you get to the goal, the more sort of shoot first they are. That being said, I would like an option from a wide player in the squad who's more of a pass first sort of presence, and maybe
dare I say it, Luis Diaz.
See, I don't know. I've never seen him. Sorry,
I'd say Rafinha would probably be that type of player. To be honest,
I sort of admire that player profile.
Who can play at 8 as well? Probably drop deep as well. But
someone a little more pass.
Avi's just pulled his hair out right now.
Exactly. Guys, can we get to a miserly 200 likes at least before we actually give our man of the match? Like we're trying to build up to it. But that ratio is miserly, like especially on a night like this. Come on,
guys, do it for the unequivocal man of the match, Lindsay Dalglish. She was just electric today. She was electric today. Do it for her, guys.
Do it for Lindsay. Come on, guys.
If Oscar Rafinha is, I know Oscar Wolf in the chat said Rafinha's unrealistic. Probably right, mate. I was just talking about someone out there.
No. I don't think it's unrealistic at all.
The Bayern chat's quieted down a little bit recently as well. So
it's not unrealistic at all. He's 100% wanted. I did tell you guys we asked for him last season, and they quoted us 60 million. The legendary Fabrizio Romano confirmed it a few months ago, and you guys have forgotten that Grizz told you last season they wanted 60 million. We're not ready to give him 60 million last season. I don't see them sticking with that 60 million now that he's a 1 year down on his contract as well.
I'm getting the feeling that he might resign there. I don't know what it is. I personally wouldn't if I was him, but I feel like he might.
But even if he does, that will only be to have
protect his value.
Because he has a relegation clause, people.
Oh, that's right.
Leeds are shitting themselves over it. some breaking news for you guys. He has a 40 million release clause if they go down.
Wow.
So if they go down, so that's where the issue is for Leeds.
Protecting our asset.
I want to shout out Debor Mayan Jude, who we learned how to say his name a couple nights
There's
ago.
the comment. I'll get the comment.
It says we have Elliot for that profile when I was talking about the pass first.
I was going to comment on that. Okay,
that's a great point. I think Elliot definitely is a more wide
100%.
10, a wide playmaker sort of guy. So, and here's the thing, we're gonna see more of that profile very soon. I don't know about you guys, but next to dumping these wannabe doctors out of the Carabao Cup, seeing those Harvey Elliott training videos and pics, did
anyone hear me say Leeds are going down?
No.
Thank you very much.
No.
I would just add as well, guys, to be fair to Rafinha, I do think Rafinha is very much a hybrid, though. Unlike Rafinha can literally plays at 8. He can play left wing. No one seems to mention that. He's played, I think, for Brazil on the left as well. So people keep saying, we can't sign him because we've got Salah. Rafinha can literally play in about 3 positions for us and still be very good on the left as well. So I think Rafinha is very a hybrid for me. I think he can play in a lot of positions. And he's not like so on the right all the time. Like when he's at the left, I think like you wouldn't play Salah on the left. Salah looks a bit out of touch on the left now. He used to, but I think Rafinha could mix it up in different positions. Just my opinion, anyway.
I like Rafinha, obviously, like everybody else. He's clearly a great player, but I also like other Brazilian wingers as well. And come on, Avi, we're talking about why he would re-sign a contract. Come on, man. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, like, don't worry, he's butthurt now. When he gets butthurt, he just starts doing these ones. Look at his last 2 comments. Look at his last comment. The clause comment is pathetic. And then he said, why would he want? He's just turned into one of those people that, you know what happens? You know what we do to people like this, don't we? We just block them for a little while or put them in a timeout. There we go, we put them in a timeout. That's what we do. I put the wrong person in a timeout.
No, Ravi, friendly fire. I put
the wrong person.
Whoever that was, right? We're sorry.
Ravi, I'm so sorry. I put.
Oh no.
Avi's like, you can't kill me.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry, guys. You carry on. I'm trying to find Ravi.
Right, okay, guys, we're going to go into the transfer talk now, though, because genuinely we've got a show on this. We've literally got the tick-attack.
No, we're turning into a chance. Exactly. We've still got man of the match.
We're done.
Yeah. No, so man of the match. We've spoke about Diogo, obviously. But about Curtis Jones, Grizz, for you, who do you want to talk about? Who do you want to mention? You could say Jota again, or do you want?
Oh, I think Evans.
You can see me, right, Chris?
Yeah. What could that have been? Do you reckon that was like Avi doing something?
I don't know.
But hopefully he'll be back.
So he was asking you who your man of the match is, though.
Yeah, right? Look, you mentioned. I didn't even hear your man of the match. Like
I said Jota for his general play and his goals. He gets man of the match for me.
I can't see any arguments with that, but I don't want to jump to Jota because Jota's the easy. It's not the easiest, the obvious option, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you gave an honourable mention as well, didn't you? Who did you give your honourable mention to?
I gave my honourable mention to Curtis Jones.
Can I? Okay, so you've done Curtis Jones, but I want to comment on Curtis Jones as well. So is that okay? Can we we don't have to have different.
Nothing wrong with agreeing with each other, guys. Come on.
I thought Curtis Jones gave another composed, technically superb performance.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his positioning, I thought his use of the ball was so calm. He knew when to lay it off. He knew when to protect it. I thought his protection was very good of the ball because they were pressing him. And you know what, guys? I noticed that he knew that Arsenal midfield was made up of players around his age group. And he absolutely wanted to dominate them. Because I feel as though Curtis Jones has been left in the slight shadow of all these Smith Rowe, Sakas, Fodens, Martinelli today. I felt as though Curtis Jones wanted to prove a point, because a lot of these players he would have played against with age groups, coming through the under-23s, wherever, for different clubs and countries. I just felt, do you know when you play against people your age or size and everything, and you know that they know that you're a baller as well, and you want to prove it and you want to show them? I felt that in Curtis Jones' performance today. I honestly did. And I'm so happy for him, because he's another one of these that the fucking social media Twitterati come for him, like for no fucking reason. He's a kid, he's growing, he's developing, but he's been written off by so many people. I think it's mad for him to be written off. And I think today he was so elegant, man. I mean, I don't know, like, did it come across? But his touches, like the ball's fizzed into him so many times, and he's getting better. I don't expect him to be the perfect player now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see progress.
Yeah,
and I see progress.
I think you're right, Grizz, when you say that a lot of our fan base get onto him simply because he's not Phil Foden or as good as Phil Foden. And guess what? 99.999% of academy products in the world aren't as good as Phil Foden. So you got to get over it. Curtis Jones represents exactly what our academy should be doing more of. If we're not going to be producing Trents and Gerrards every year, and no academy is going to be producing Trents or Gerrards every year, you need to be producing a lot of Curtis Joneses, guys who have a high enough ceiling to stick around. And if they don't, they can be sold to another Premier League team for a very nice profit. So for me, Jones represents exactly what our academy needs to be doing more of. And I think that's, and I honestly, I rate him as a player. I know I just delved into the business side of Curtis Jones, but I genuinely think there is a player there. Like the talent is so clearly there. And again, it's really just a matter of the decision making. He's just such a confident player. And we all love players with the swagger who seem to believe that they're great. And Curtis Jones absolutely has that.
Conor, we got you back.
Yeah. I don't know actually what happened there. It didn't cut out like that. I went off screen. But I'm back. And so your man of the match was Jota, Grizz, and then Jones was your honourable mention.
Yeah. I think, I want to give an honourable mention to your boy as well. I thought Robertson was outstanding, like literally outstanding as well. And we know Trent. We've discussed Trent, so I thought Virgil was back to his imperious best.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us have mentioned Fabinho. So it's one of those team performances. Like, do you remember there used to be games where we used to watch Liverpool and we didn't know who to give the man of the match to because it was such a solid team performance, and then we'd give it to Mo because he scored the goals.
Yeah.
But equally, it could have been anyone else. It was one of those ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll just give a quick shout out. It's Diogo for me as well, but shout out to obviously Trent. How on a normal occasion, if Diogo Jota, his full performance was great and his goals capped it off, and if you can't not give it to him. But again, the passing ability of this young man is just ridiculous, and he might even hit. I think he's probably going to hit 20 assists this season, possibly more. Just unbelievable. So just shout out to Trent. We all know how good he is. Generational talent. As I said before, I don't know why England don't glorify him. It is actually baffling. It makes no sense to me why they don't. So yeah,
well, their loss,
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But really, as I said, yeah, Diogo stepped up. We needed someone to step up tonight. The full team did, but he was the main man in the big occasions, and delighted for him. And to me, I'm buzzing now because you're going to get the Mo, Keita, and Manny coming back, and you've got Jota, who's obviously that'll do him a lot as well. I'll be like, I stepped up, and some players like that as well. It's going to give the team confidence, and it's going to, I think, be great for the upcoming fixtures. And his first one will be Palace away this weekend. So yeah, completely agree, guys. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've done a long stint today. I'm pretty tired now. I've got early start tomorrow. I'm not allowed to reveal what, but I've got a good early start tomorrow. It should be good fun when it's released, what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. First time I'm working with these people. So.
I'd be excited as well, but you're not going to let us know. So
no, yeah, I'm not allowed to say yet. But yeah, fantastic show, people, man. Thank you for having me, Conrad. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I'll hopefully get you back on the channel soon.
Yeah.
It's not a problem, man. I'm always here for you guys. But you know what? I'm more happy for Ravi that he's back in the
He's
chat.
back in
Like,
it. He's
I
raging.
accidentally-
He's unsubscribed 100%.
Yeah, he said thank you to Grizz, Evan, and Conroy for adding me back. No, just thank you to Evan and Conroy. No thanks to Grizz.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man. But yeah, no, it's good. Avi's back in the chat. Ravi's back in the chat. Sorry, man. I blocked the wrong guy, man. Fuck's sake, man. But yeah, no, I enjoyed that. Thank you very much, Conroy.
No, that's fine. Evan, anything from you? You happy with that, mate?
I'm absolutely in love with the Carabao Cup, guys. You have won me over.
Yeah, no, you're in now.
I am so emotionally invested.
Oh yeah, look at him!
know.
Look at him!
Look at this hypocrite! Look at this hypocrite!
And to be honest, I have to thank the Arsenal fans too, because it was their shamelessness that drew me in. You know what I mean? I'm an internet fan. At the end of the day, I have to deal with it. I have to acknowledge it.
It's this fucking club, Evan.
Yeah.
This club does this to you. Wherever we go, wherever competition we are, the love affair starts, and then we can't get enough of it. I'm already planning Wembley, and I'm gonna.
So when is the final usually?
27th of February, man. Where are we? So just over a month away.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Now it makes sense to sort of focus on the Carabao Cup, because when you have the argument that the league is over and Liverpool need to focus on other things, we need something to do in between now and when the Champions League kickbacks up.
And there's a break coming up as well, isn't there?
Exactly.
Evan?
So we need something to focus on. So in a way,
when does the Champions League?
So we will, but as soon as the final happens, we'll have played Inter a week before that, I think, in the first leg. The first leg is always around Valentine's Day. That's how I remember it. I'm pretty sure.
We'll double check that, but I think it's roughly about that. They're definitely there. But it's do you know what? We'll get more into the preview for the Chelsea game. It's going to be great to play at Wembley again, as we mentioned at the start. But yeah, it's a great feeling to actually be at a final. I don't know about you guys. I know you were at the game, Grizz, and you felt confident, but it got to the 70th minute, and I was getting a bit nervous before we scored the second, because usually in the Champions League you're still nervous, but it felt like that. I know it's League Cup. I still take it very seriously, but I was just the last 30 minutes. I was just like, let's just get over the line, get to Wembley again, and let's get Klopp a win there, and to play Chelsea. This game is going to be this game will be huge for both of those teams. Tuchel's under it right now, undeservedly in my opinion, but we'll get into that in the preview. And then, for us to get a trophy right now would be such a boost, and it'd be great for our season. So we'll get into that. But from our point of view, folks, if there's nothing else to add, I think have we got any shows this week? What's the next shows this week,
Where
Chris?
are we? I don't know what day we're on.
It is
Thursday.
It is Thursday.
Oh yeah, it's Thursday. So hopefully, when are we playing? Sunday, right? So me and Avi are gonna try to do a prime time, the prime time show, which is for the people that don't get to watch us live. Yeah, Australia, America, India, Pakistan, Canada, all the people around the world. So that was a good success last time. We're going to try to do one of those ones. And we're going to try to turn that into a preview. If not, we'll do some sort of preview on Saturday night. We'll have a preview show. I've got a good Palace fan, a good friend of mine, to try to get him in, because again, the focus doesn't stop, guys. Like, the focus carries on. We have to focus on the league. Palace away is a fucking tricky game.
Yeah, I think after that one, Grizz, we get a little break, don't we? For a week,
much needed as well.
Oh, much needed.
And that will allow us to, as I say, big things for the community. We've got some transfer shows coming up. We've also got end of the window. Lots to look forward to in
Absolutely.
that time as well.
Avi reminds me he's on a sabbatical, of course.
Yeah.
AKA he's parked outside Luis Diaz's house.
Yeah, exactly. So I may have to do I'll rearrange. But listen, if people have subscribed and if the people have got notifications on, then they should be aware of everything that's going on anyway. So guys, get your notifications on. Guys, Really enjoyed the chat today, man. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. But if you've not liked and subscribed, make sure you do, folks, because Grizz literally is probably one of the hardest people working on the show every day, along with us as well. We love the chat, but there's always stuff happening. It is genuinely like television right now because there's something on every night. It's like a TV series, but most nights of the week. So make sure you do and show the love. But if that's it, folks, then yeah, just thanks to everyone for the chat. It's been great. Thanks to you both as usual. The chat's been superb. The analyst has been great. And yeah, hopefully we can get this over the line and get the League Cup in our bag. But to everyone, take care. See you later. Good night.
Night.